Hello children, welcome back to the math sessions from the Maths World book designed for grade 3 with me. We will continue to understand the topic of division further. In today's session, we will understand and get to know two-digit quotients. We'll be using sums from exercise 6.3 for better understanding. Let us now understand the concept of division further. In the first part, we have 88 divided by 8. In this, after writing the dividend and the divisor appropriately, we will first divide the first digit of this dividend, which is 8. As you all know, children, 8 multiplied by 1 gives us 8. Therefore, we write the numbers accordingly to obtain 0 as the remainder in the first case. We bring down the second digit of the dividend to obtain the new dividend, which again needs to be divided by the divisor. Again, we know 8 multiplied by 1 is 8. Therefore, we write the numbers accordingly and obtain 0 as the remainder, such that our quotient becomes 11 and the remainder is 0. Seeing another example, children, in this we write 86 divided by 5 appropriately in between the division symbol. Thereafter, we divide 8 with 5. Therefore, we write 5 multiplied by 1 giving us 5. When we subtract, we get 3 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend to obtain the new dividend as 36. In the table of 5, we know, children, that 36 is not found. So, we move on to finding a new number which is just smaller than 36 in the table of 5, such that 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. When we subtract 36 and 35, we get 1 as the answer, which becomes the remainder in this case. Therefore, children, the quotient here is 17 and the remainder is 1. In the C part, we have 93 divided by 9. After writing the dividend and the divisor appropriately, we start dividing by considering the first digit of the dividend, which is 9. 9 multiplied by 1 gives us 9, which when subtracted gives 0 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend down to write 3. We know, children, 3 is smaller than the divisor 9, therefore we cannot divide it. We write a 0 in the quotient and get the remainder as 3 thereafter, such that the final quotient is 10 and remainder is 3 in this case. We will look at another example, which is 63 divided by 4. We again consider the first digit of this number, that is 6. We divide it by 4, such that 4 multiplied by 1 gives us 4. On subtraction, we get 2 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend down to obtain 23 as the new dividend, which needs to be divided by 4. We know that 23 is not found in the table of 4. Therefore, we look for a number which is just smaller than 23 in the table of 4. So, we get 4 multiplied by 5 giving us 20. On subtracting, we get 3 as the remainder, such that the final quotient is 15 and remainder is 3. A few of the questions, children, you should do by yourself to understand this concept much better. From the book, parts E, F, G and H should be done by you in your notebooks. E part says 25 divided by 6. F part says 74 divided by 2. G part says 90 divided by 6. And H part says 81 divided by 7. Do try these problems, children, and try to know if you have understood the concept or not. Furthermore, the same division can be checked using the formula dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by the quotient plus the remainder. This is similar to the concept of long division checking, which we have learned through the last video. We will try to solve a few problems to understand it better. Moving on to question 2, we have the first part which says 79 divided by 6. We use the long division method to first obtain the quotient and the remainder, children. We consider the first digit of the dividend. 6 into 1 gives us 6. On subtraction, we get 1 as the answer. We bring down the 9 below to obtain the new dividend as 19. 6 into 3 gives us 18. On subtraction, we get 1 as the remainder. So, our quotient is 13 and remainder is 1. You already remember the formula of checking division, children, which is dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by the quotient plus the remainder. We put in the values obtained from the long division such that 13 multiplied by 6 plus 1. You can check your multiplication in the rough column, children. 13 multiplied by 6 gives us 78. Plus 1 gives us 79, which is same as our original dividend of the question. Therefore, we know that our long division method is correct, and hence we can write verified. Moving on to the B part, we have 64 divided by 3. We consider the first digit of the dividend, that is 6, and start dividing. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. When we subtract, we get 0 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend down and divide further. 3 multiplied by 1 gives us 3. On subtraction, we get 1 as the answer. Therefore, the quotient is 21 and the remainder is 1. On putting these values in the formula of verification, which is dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by the quotient plus remainder, we get 21 multiplied by 3 plus 1. When we multiply in the rough column, children, we get 63 as the answer plus 1, which is 64. This answer is nothing but the original dividend which we have in the question. Therefore, we can say we have verified our method. In the C part, we have 79 divided by 5. Considering the first digit of the dividend and dividing, we have 5 multiplied by 1 giving us 5. When we subtract, we get 2 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend down to obtain the new dividend 29 as the new dividend. 5 multiplied by 5 gives us 25. When we subtract, we get 4 as the answer. So, our quotient is 15 and remainder is 4. We put these values in the formula for verification such that we have 15 multiplied by 5 plus 4. In the rough column, when we multiply 15 and 5, we get 75 children, and when we add 4 to it, we get 79 as the answer, which is nothing but our original dividend. Therefore, we know that our long division is correct and we can mention verified. Please note, children, this D part. It says 51 divided by 4. We consider the first digit of the dividend. We write 4 multiplied by 1 giving us 4. On subtraction, we get 1 as the answer. We bring down the second digit of the dividend down to obtain the new dividend as 11. We further divide as 4 multiplied by 2 giving us 8. When we subtract these two numbers, we get 3 as the remainder. We put these values in the formula for verification to obtain 12 multiplied by 4 plus 3. 12 into 4 is 48 children, and when 3 is added to it, we get 51, which is our original dividend if you observe. Therefore, we write verified. Try solving some questions yourself, children, in the notebooks. Do remember to do the verification also in these long division questions. The E part says 90 divided by 8. F part says 46 divided by 2. G part says 98 divided by 9. And H part says 67 divided by 2. When you solve these problems, children, you will understand the concept much better. Thanks for watching, children. Hope you understood the concept of obtaining two-digit quotients.